You have any idea how to get in there without being noticed?
Let's take a look around the building. We might find a less conspicuous entrance.
Where is the manifest to be found?
I've already been to the port authorities. They keep the official documents upstairs. Here's the ship's manifest. We only need to add our merchandise to the list.
The path is clear. We should notify the men. They need all the time they can get.
Captain, sir, we were given orders to wait here with the merchandise.
The way is clear. It's time to get going.
Do your best to be quick and quiet about it. You won't have much time to move it.
Don't you be worrying now. We're off.
The warehouse is at the end to the right there. You can't miss it.
Move out. Quick steps.
Your Excellency.
Lord de Sade.
I need to be going. Goodbye, Excellency.
Goodbye.
Your Excellency.
Lord de Sade.
Did you reconsider the request for asylum for the historians that I spoke to you about?
I believe I already told you that the affair would be taken care of as soon as you had taken care of mine.
I need to be going. Goodbye, Excellency.
Goodbye.
Selection, whatever you need to be.
Ah, you're finally tempted.
In all honesty, I haven't made up my mind yet. I want to be certain that I'm not dealing with a charlatan.
In this day and age, I can't blame you. What might I do to convince you?
Will you drink one of your potions to prove your good faith?
Of course. I take a little sip every morning. But, as I'm in perfect health, you won't be able to verify the improvement in my condition. But, if it helps you make up your mind, give me just a moment. There now. As you see, I am still in excellent condition.
Come on now, I saw you take that vial out of your pocket. Nothing proves that it's the same potion that you sell to your clients.
As a man of science, I consider skepticism a remarkable quality. But in your case, it is not skepticism, but blindness.
We need to steal one of these potions and force him to drink it.
Brilliant idea, Kurt. Let's take a look at his cart.
To my help! And death to the others! Move away! Things are about to get done!
You're in blood. Do you need something?
I must leave you.
Have you finally made up your mind?
I happen to have a vial of your medicine. Would you be willing to drink it in front of us? To prove that there is no risk?
This bullying is trying my patience. I'm beginning to suspect that you might be working for a rival.
You refuse to taste it?
You might have put something in it to cause me harm or further disgrace.
No, look. The vial is still sealed. It comes straight from your stock.
And you dare challenge me when you have just admitted to being a thief?
Come now. You can see for yourself that I'm gladly returning your vial, so that you might drink it in front of witnesses. This might help to dissipate my doubts, as well as those of these brave folk.
Yes, no, you don't have the right.
Damnation. He got away. He can't have gone far.
Find him before his head ends up on a spike.
Think back to the note that we found. We need to take a look at the tavern. He won't leave the city without his belongings.
I'm sorry. I'm afraid that I won't make for good company.
You again? What are you doing in my room?
I'm not the only one that has found you. Have you seen the mob that is gathering in the street?
I'm neither deaf nor blind. By the spheres. Why didn't I leave the city while there was still time?
The Alliance ambassador is quite unsettled by your commerce, and he is the one who sent me.
Sahin. Him again. Ruining my career wasn't enough for him. He's the very reason I had to leave the Alliance. And here I am, playing the part of the potion maker. Me, who was once a respected member of the Academy of Al-Sad.
Dr. Sahin warned me that you were an imposter.
That doesn't surprise me, coming from him. I was a master alchemist. I understand if you don't believe me after all that, but I have a number of documents to prove it. I would still be one if Sahin hadn't set off a chain of machinations to disgrace me.
Why does Sahin bear you such hatred?
I wasn't fortunate enough to oppose certain great minds of the Academy. To criticize their methodology. I saw them inflicting torture on sick prisoners, making them drink the most vile poisons. To find a remedy to the Malachor, they won't hesitate to kill. I could not keep my silence.
It is for an act of courage that you fell from grace and earned Sahin's hatred. Are you not ashamed to have poisoned those poor souls?
These potions are not harmful. That is to say that they don't contain any harmful ingredients.
But you could just as easily produce real healing potions. So why don't you?
You don't understand. I fled, but I haven't put a stop to my own research. This potion is an attempt to create in those who drink it a resistance to the Malachor.
So you manipulate people to use as experimental fodder. That is completely unethical.
I don't have a choice, but it does not harm them, I assure you.
If this potion were inoffensive, then why wouldn't you drink it when I offered it to you?
I ran tests on myself for such a long time that I ended up becoming intolerant to it. A small sip of this mixture provokes in me now a violent reaction. I mean, the mob would have been furious in any case, but a normal dose, I assure you, is without risk.
Your methods don't seem so different than those of your colleagues.
I don't torture people. And this potion only has side effects in high doses.
Perhaps, but you're hurting innocents. I cannot let your commerce continue.
So, what are you going to do with me, sir?
I'm going to help you leave the city, but you must promise never to return.
I swear it.
Very well then. I need to first get you away from those who want to see you hanged.
If we can't find a way to sneak out of here discreetly, we will have to confront the populace.
I haven't lost hope that I'll be able to help them hear reason.
It would be better if I remain hidden while waiting.
Greetings, Your Excellency.
Please listen, I beg you.
If you want him to reimburse you, get in the back of the line like everyone else.
Believe me, I understand why you're angry.
Me? It's not money I want. That charlatan tried to poison us. I couldn't give a flying pile of dung for your pretty words. We're gonna hang him high. And you too, if you're an accomplice.
How absurd! I'm the one who put an end to his operation.
Well, in that case, help us catch him so he can be punished like he deserves.
He's trapped. He'll have to come out someday, you'll see.
Citizens, in my capacity as legate of the congregation, I order you to disperse.
Disperse? It's that thief you should be arresting. You hear me, everyone? The powerful are behind this charlatan. They want us to leave.
We'll have nothing of it! Arm yourselves!
To my help! And
All these blue bloods without weapons.
move away! Things are about
All
to get
these
dicey!
blue bloods, they aren't worth tuppence.
See if you know how to use your weapon.
Come on, I'll teach you a bit.
Let's see if you know how to use your weapon.
Move away! Things
Let's
are
see
about
if
to
you know
get
how to use your
dicey!
weapon.
Broke your armor. Be careful.
I believe I've seen you at the palace.
Last year's fashion.
His relatives.
Please listen, I beg you.
If you want him to reimburse you, get in the back of the line like everyone else.
Believe me, I understand why you're angry.
Me? It's not money I want! That charlatan tried to poison us! I couldn't give a flying pile of dung for your pretty words. We're gonna hang him high! And you too, if you're an accomplice!
How absurd! I'm the one who put an end to his operation.
Well, in that case, help us catch him so he can be punished like he deserves.
He's trapped. He'll have to come out someday, you'll see.
I can procure you some excellent potions, as long as you promise to put an end to this. True potions of healing like those you thought you were buying.
What are you, some sort of alchemist, then? I hope you're not the same feather as the other. If that's the case, we have enough rope to hang the both of them!
Trust me. I swear that each and every one of you will receive one.
Ah, our trust was already given. We're going nowhere without seeing the merchandise.
Such a large number of potions. This story's gonna cost you a fortune.
These vials could be lying around anywhere. I need to keep my eyes peeled.
have those potions you promised us?
Not quite yet. Leave me just a little more time.
It's your last chance to prove that you're not just a fast talker, like the other fool. If not, we'll have no trouble finding enough rope to hang you, too!
So, did you find a way to get me out of this hornet's nest?
Yes. I need to get you out of here. I have unlocked the service entrance. You will be able to sneak out of there discreetly.
Without being skinned alive by the mob?
You need to remain prudent. I will escort you to your cart.
I follow you.
Let's sneak out the back.
I hope we don't run into any unhappy patients. Angry customers. And we have no choice but to go this way? Holy leaders, they've seen me.
To my help! And death to the others! Move away! Things are about to get dicey! Move away! Things are about to get dicey!
Where are you headed? Don't abandon me. They're going to take me.
Damnation! He got away.
Your Excellency.
Lord de Sade.
I tracked down your man near the Coin Guard barracks.
Finally. Did you capture him?
Let's just say I put an end to his activities. His reputation in Serene is forever tarnished. Matters turned out a little more complicated than anticipated. He managed to slip through our fingers.
Once again. That man is part eel.
We followed his trail to the Coin Guard Tavern, but he had already escaped. All the same, you have nothing to fear. He will never step foot in Serene again.
We'll eventually catch up with him and deliver the punishment that his crimes deserve. Governor Burhan will be happy to learn that such an amiable legate will soon cross the shores of Tir Fredi. Thank you for your help, Excellency, and allow me to offer you this modest gift for your voyage.
I need to be going. Goodbye, Excellency.
Goodbye, Lord de Sade.
Your Excellency.
Lord de Sade.
Now that your affair is taken care of, are you planning on helping the historians I spoke to you about?
We are willing. Where are they to be found at this time?
At the port of Serene. They were hoping to stow away discreetly on a vessel to Al-Sad.
Very well. I shall send an escort immediately to take them somewhere safe.
Would you be so kind as to tell me what you know about the Bridge Alliance?
With pleasure. A legate needs to know the history and strengths of his allies. The alliance was sealed by several nations of the Bridge around 200 years ago. The greatest of our cities, Al-Sad, became the capital, and a council formed from the different nations now rules. This union was originally put into place to better resist the appetites for conquering our neighbors. But our ancestors quickly realized that the Union had also strengthened us economically and culturally. And of course, exchanges in knowledge were strongly encouraged from the outset. Today, it is by no means an overstatement to claim that the Bridge Alliance leads our world in science and exploration. Each day, we push the limits of our understanding further in each and every domain.
Could you give me your understanding of the relations between the congregation and the bridge?
Our relations hang essentially on the quality of our trade and commerce. The exchanges are very profitable, especially on the cultural front. I will not hide from you that we have hoped you would join our number for quite some time. But your princes insist on maintaining a neutral stance between the congregation and the other nations on the continent. It is by all means a respectable position, even if it means you also trade with our enemies.
The Bridge Alliance has been on Tier for much longer than we have. What can you tell me?
It is true that we founded Hikmet, our newest city, around 15 years ago now. Alas, I haven't been able to go there myself. I can only tell you what others have reported to me. It is a luxurious island. An enormous dead volcano thrones in its center. The vegetation is extremely varied, and the fauna wondrous. We discovered animals that we had never ever seen before. Some are bigger than houses. But they're not the only occupants of the island. A savage and crude people also live there, who speak an incomprehensible language. But you shall discover all of this for yourself soon enough.
And what of your war with Ptolemy?
It has been dragging on. In fact, it has been dragging on for years. It is madness. If those bigots hadn't gotten it in their heads to convert the entire continent, we wouldn't be in this situation. But that's the way of the world. We shall not waver, whether here or on Tier.
Have you been fighting battles there as well?
From what I've been told, Ptolemy has wisely and tastefully built their colony far from our city. Direct conflicts are, in fact, quite rare. But one day they will inevitably take place.
I need to be going. Goodbye, Excellency.
Goodbye, Lord de Sade.
We owe you our lives. We are eternally grateful.
It was nothing. I hope you won't have too much difficulty adapting to your new country.
If you would allow me, I would like to give you this. It's not much, but it is all that we possess.
Farewell.
You have a kind heart, Greenblood. It'll be the end of you, but that doesn't bother me. I wouldn't have wanted those poor buggers to end up on a burning pyre.
It would seem that I'm not the only one with a tender heart. Good day, Excellency.
Sir de Sardet, to what do I owe the pleasure?
Could you tell me anything about Thélème?
It would be a pleasure. As you already know, our glorious nation is guided by our faith. We follow the teachings of Matthias, our founder and greatest prophet, and give thanks each day to the Luminous for having gifted us magic. The high dignitaries of Thélème are at the same time our spiritual guides, advocates, and grand mages.
I've heard say that dissensions have appeared recently in your nation.
Ah. You must certainly be speaking about the debates that have divided the Ordo Luminis and the more political orders. The Lord Luminous has an extremely pure vision of our faith and applies the words of our saint very strictly. But other, more open-minded factions exist within our nation. They believe that a less rigid dialectic would attract souls more readily to our faith. But their differences are purely theoretical, and do not threaten the cohesion of our nation, I assure you.
It pains me to inform you that the heretics you seek have fled.
Curse them! How could that possibly have happened?
After I heard the case they made for themselves, I decided to let them escape.
What are you saying?
They convinced me that your accusations have nothing to do with heresy, and that their only crime was discovering historical truths denied by Thélème.
And you gave credence to the lies preferred by these blasphemers. Their historical truths are nothing but nonsense, fabricated to undermine the foundations of Thélème. The simple act to have proffered such horrors proves the fact that they are heretics. I fear that your youth and kind heart has blinded you, de Sardet. That is a shame. I was expecting more from a young legate who seemed sensitive to our magic.
I must be going. Farewell, Excellency.
May the light guide you, de Sade.
Sir, you still haven't found your cousin. As you well know, we cannot leave without him.
Have no fear. I will bring him back in time to make our scheduled departure. Is everything ready?
I'm still without news of my cabin boy, but we will have to do without.
When did you see your cabin boy for the last time?
It's been 2 days since I've had any news at all. It wasn't out of the ordinary until this morning. My men have free shore leave when we're at dock. But the day of departure, every able-bodied sailor must be present on the ship.
Does the boy know anyone in Serene?
Other than fellow Norts, you mean? I don't think so, but it's difficult to be sure.
This Jonas, does he have any close friends amongst the crew?
In tradition, we are all members of the same family. But yes, there would be Flavio and Lauro.
Might I have a word with them?
As you wish. You'll find them over there, in port.
Be back soon, Captain. Good day. Someone told me that you're a friend of Jonas's, the young cabin boy who's gone missing.
That's right, yeah. Are you looking for him?
Yes. Your captain asked me to go and find him.
Happy to hear he's taken the disappearance seriously. What can I do for you?
What do you think about Captain Vasco?
He's a damn good navigator, and an excellent leader of men. He knows his craft well, in spite of being so young.
How old is he?
He's not seen his 25th year yet. If he keeps it up, he'll be an admiral one day.
When did you last see him?
2 days ago, in the evening. We went to have a drink in the tavern. Jonas, Lauro, and myself.
Did anything seem out of the ordinary? Was he troubled?
Maybe a tad troubled. Like he was somewhere else.
Why would that be? Give me your best guess.
Boy, I haven't the faintest idea.
What does Jonas do in his free time, when you're on land?
He just hangs around here or there. You know the cabin boys don't have half a sailor's wages. And when evening comes, we usually go down the tavern with good old Lauro.
Did he ever have one too many?
Never. He sips his pint like it was bad medicine. One drink lasts him the whole night.
Does he know anyone in Serene?
No one, far as I know.
Do you think he could have made himself any enemies?
I wouldn't think that for a moment. Jonas has a good heart, and he steers clear of trouble and troublemakers.
I don't know where to start with this. Do you have any idea?
No. Lauro won't stop telling anyone who will lend him an ear that the boy was carried off by thugs.
And you don't believe him?
I like Lauro, don't get me wrong, he's like a brother. But to be honest, he drinks a little more than he should. The itch for a drink gets us all, but to him more than others, and when you drink too much, the imagination wanders. Here, yesterday, it was me who tied one over, and I thought I heard Jonas's voice by the canal. I called back to him, as you guessed, but then nothing. Drink. It blurs the senses.
I need to be going. Farewell. Good day, sailor. I've been told that you know the missing cabin boy well. Is that right?
You talking about Jonas? You bet your stars I know him. But like I've been crying to the 9 death winds, he didn't go missing, he was taken.
Were you a witness to the event?
Yes, I was. Even though I'd had a few tumblers in the belly, I hadn't yet lost my head. The other day, in the tavern, I saw him talking to a well-dressed man, surrounded by some other sly ruffians. And then when we left, him and I, Flavia left a little earlier, you understand. Well, those brutes were there, waiting for him. They just up and took him like that. Grabbed his arms and poof, gone. Vanished.
Why didn't you intervene?
I tried to, believe me. But my legs betrayed me. Wavering they were. And I fell into the gutter.
Did you report this to the captain?
Unfortunately not. I know all too well what weight my words carry. Even Flavia treated me like a drunken fool. And the captain? No, not telling him that. I still have some pride left, you get me?
Did Jonas seem troubled to you, the night he disappeared?
Maybe. For sure he wasn't his usual self.
Do you know what was on his mind?
No. No idea.
Why would anyone want to snatch a mere cabin boy?
How would I know? Jonas is a gentle boy who keeps his head down. You think my story is nothing but mist too, don't you?
It's just that I can't imagine a gang of thugs hoping to get a ransom for a cabin boy. Did anyone else see the kidnapping?
There was still a small crowd in the tavern. But outside, I seem to recall that regular being there. We play cards with him from time to time. Kind of fellow who plays from morning to night time to be that skilled. But now and again he comes out. When nature calls, you know. I kind of remember his face being there.
What do you think about Captain Vasco?
He's a just man, who knows his knots. He's well appreciated by the crew. It's a pity that he hasn't much heart for laughs now and again. Always seems unhappy, our captain.
Thank you, Lara. I need to be going.
Strange story, this is.
Something isn't right here, I can feel it. We need to lift the veil on this. Tavern keeper.
I see you're back. Can I pour you something this time?
I'm looking for a Naut. A young cabin boy who's been missing roll call for 2 days now.
A Naut, you say? That's not a lot to go on. There are quite a few that come to my tavern.
According to one of his fellows, he would have been taken right here.
A kidnapping? In my establishment? You surely jest. Or at least I hope you do. I would have noticed. That doesn't hold water.
Someone told me about one of your faithful clients. A big gambler, it would seem.
I see. An able-bodied man. Passes his time lightening the pouches of sailors coming through.
Where might I find him at this time?
Here? He would never give away his chair at his table. Anything else?
How is business going these days?
It's picking up. We've not seen many new customers, but of late things are looking better. The Malachor and the neighbouring wars have dampened commerce. The epidemic still rages, but the possibility of finding a cure on that island has given people something to hope for. Now that we have a city there, quite a few seafarers come by to spend their wages.
Has the Malachor really put a damper on your business?
More than a damper. They were soaked. When the sickness began to spread, a wave of panic followed in its wake. People stopped going out of their homes. They were afraid. I was close to closing shop, I tell you. And then, thankfully, the alchemists of the bridge said that you couldn't just catch it like that. People are still distrustful, as is their nature, but they are leaving home again. It's a start. I also lost quite a few regular customers. Dead or too scared to venture back. Oh, but that's nothing new to you. The city would have sunk in the water if not for trade with the new isle.
With all these sailors coming and going, you must have heard some stories about TFR.
Right. Even stories that my heaviest drinkers would have trouble believing. They say that man-trees live there. Dragons and gigantic creatures. Treasure abounds under every rock. And the source of eternal life is hidden somewhere there. Last night, some Nauts even told me they brought back one of those giant beasts into the port. Ah, but you know the kind. If you ask my opinion, the drink was fueling their imaginations.
I need to be off. Farewell.
Goodbye. To my help! And death to the others! Move away! Things are about to get dicey!
sworn through is your head.
Who are you? I don't recognize you. Am I in your debt?
No. Have no fear about that. It's for a different reason that I am here. I'm looking for a Naut that disappeared 2 days ago, after visiting this establishment. A young cabin boy. 2 members of his crew accompanied him.
Yes, that does ring a bell. I've played with the 3 of them.
What can you tell me about the boy? How was he that night?
He seemed rather nervous, as if he was worried about something. Didn't feel like playing, that I remember. And he must have been right to be nervous, if he's disappeared.
Tell me what happened that evening.
A rich merchant came in, with a band of strong arms. The kind of men you can round up for a few coins, if you catch my drift. They exchanged words with the cabin boy. The kid was defensive, not sitting pretty. And then they finally left.
And after that?
It just so happens that I did go out for a breather. I needed some fresh air. And I think I might well have seen those same men grab him. But that was none of my business. I wouldn't have thought that they were kidnapping him, if that's what it was. They weren't particularly rough with him.
Who was the rich merchant, do you think? A jilted lover? A moneylender?
No, sir. You are in luck. It so happens that I know the man. It was Sir Fontaine, that merchant.
Where can I find him?
He has a house in the wealthy boroughs, just off the canal. A stone's throw from the Theleme embassy.
Thank you. You've been immensely helpful.
This man is completely owned by his love for the game. Do you think we can trust him?
What would he gain from lying?
I have no idea. But what would any wealthy merchant gain from holding a penniless child?
Might I help you, sir?
I would like to have a word with Sir Fontaine.
He is absent, but the lady of the house could certainly receive you. Enter, please.
I know you. I've seen you at court. You are Lord de Sade. And to what do I owe the honor of your visit, Excellency?
I would like to have a word with your husband.
He is not here, but perhaps I could be of help.
It concerns a delicate matter. We're looking for a missing cabin boy. According to witnesses, he had an argument with your husband before being taken.
I see. I am afraid that you have been misled. You seem to have come to the wrong conclusion. The cabin boy you speak of was not taken. He has simply returned home.
Excuse me, but I'm not sure I understand.
Don't you see, Your Excellency? We got our son back.
I am very surprised. Several witnesses confirmed that your son had a fight with your husband, and that his men escorted him from the tavern using force. If he had joined your husband willingly...
Witnesses? In a tavern? And you choose to believe these drunkards over a respectable family?
These witnesses are all in agreement, and it's their testimonies that have led me to your doorstep.
My son was probably shocked to have found us. My husband and the other men might have simply had to carry him. A gesture that your drunkards must have misunderstood.
What was your son doing on a Naut ship? Why would they have taken him?
It is what they do. Through pacts and contracts, they steal away young children from their mothers.
What are you talking about?
I would have thought that a legate would know these things. But it is true that you are young and inexperienced. It seems that you have been protected from the turpitudes of our own nation and their terrible allies. This horrible, constant ransoming that they put us through. But I will not say another word. You will have no trouble verifying the details now that you know what to look for.
Where might I find your son now?
I cannot say, Excellency. You must understand why. Until the Nauts have set sail, we live in fear they will take him back from us.
This pact? It sounds like some fear-inducing story.
The Nauts wouldn't be the first to recruit through dubious means.
Selection, whatever you need to be.
Sir, you still haven't found your cousin. As you well know, we cannot leave without him.
Have no fear. I will bring him back in time.
I'm still without news of my cabin boy, but we will have to do.
I spoke with a woman who told me she was the mother of the cabin boy. She claims that her son was taken from her.
Taken? Her son is sea-gifted. His parents were required to give him up to honor the terms of a contract.
A contract? But what kind of contract are we speaking of?
A commercial contract. In exchange for services rendered by the Nords, some families cede more than gold. In some cases, nations even trade some of their subjects before they're born. I wouldn't be able to tell you the condition of Jonas's contract. I didn't even know he was originally from Serene. But what I can tell you is the young man hasn't seen his parents since he was a small child. And ever since, he's been a Nord. Our ships are his home. We are his only family.
Be back soon, Captain.
You see anyone else who might be able to help us? Anyone who's not a Naut?
Sir de Corsillion's a veritable well of scientific knowledge. He could tell us a little more.
I still don't see Constantine at your side. I hope he hasn't been the victim of any foul play.
Don't worry. We'll find him in time for departure.
I certainly hope so. Would you be in need of my help in any way?
What will be your official title on TFRD? Or are you just here to keep an eye on us?
Come now, don't be ridiculous. I'm coming in the capacity of official advisor, nothing more. But His Highness has also asked me to report to him on certain strategic observations. I am therefore required to take note of all events, chart the island and its resources, but also obtain as much knowledge as possible concerning the more dangerous creatures of the island. Your help will be extremely valuable to me. I've no longer the legs of an adventurer.
It's always a privilege to help, Master. I've had a word with Lady Fontaine. You must know her. That rich family that lives near the docks. She told me a strange story about her son who was a cabin boy on our ship. She said that he was taken when he was a child due to some contract with the Nords.
Who was a cabin boy? Do you mean he's no longer one?
They took him back to bring him home.
Well, that is very unpleasant news, de Sade. We need to do all we can to bring the boy back to his ship. Since time immemorial, there's always been a certain price to pay for the services of the Nauts. Children born on their ships belong to them. It's the rule of the sea. But certain contracts are so important that they also require children to be offered in exchange. From time to time, the congregation has passed such accord, and certain noble families had to give their children up.
Are you telling me that the Fontaines lost their son because of some agreement signed between my uncle and the Nauts?
No. That pact ended a long time ago. This cabin boy couldn't have been a part of that contract. But Sir Fontaine has made a fortune trading with the Alliance, via ships.
Do you mean he would have offered up his own son in exchange for wealth?
Well, he probably did it before the birth of the child, and regretted it afterwards. But that is of little importance. What counts most is that you bring the boy back to the Nauts as quickly as possible. Breaking a contract with the seafarers has always cost us dearly. Our nation could feel it in its coffers.
I will do my best.
A father selling his own son for a few boat rides. For ugly, that is ugly.
Lady Fontaine didn't seem to have any knowledge of that detail. That could be of use to us. This document mentions another property. A warehouse.
That would be a great place to hide. Shall we take a peek?
Might I help you, sir?
I need to be going. Farewell. Excuse me, madam, but I haven't quite finished my inquiry yet.
If you would be so courteous, I would like you to leave. I have told you all that I have to say.
With respect, my lady.
Here we are. Be careful. Fontaine won't be alone. He'll have his henchmen with him. To my help! And death to the others! Move away! Things are about to get dicey!
It's not possible just now.
Who are you?
My name is de Sardet. I am legate of the congregation. Your captain has sent me to find you.
And were you able to convince my father to allow me to go free?
You don't seem to be all that close to your parents.
I hadn't seen them since I was 5 years old. I barely remember them. They find me, capture me, and lock me up in this warehouse. Hard to grow close after all that. My family is the Naughts. I am sorry for my parents, but that is the way of it now. Can I go home?
Yes. You should still go and say farewell to your mother. Then find your way to the ship. I'll see you there. It's not possible just now.
sworn through is your hat out of style.
Sir, you still haven't found your cousin. As you well know, we can't...
Have no fear.
Mike...
You do. It's a rather sad affair, and though solved, leaves a broken family behind.
All we can do is plot a course. No one tells the wind what to do. I do thank you. I didn't think you'd go to so much trouble for a cabin boy. Your actions bring you honor.
Be back soon, Captain.